I want to talk about nerve cells and synapses. So we're going to look at one nerve cell, which is called a neuron, and its major parts. So first we have the cell body, and that has cytoplasm and protein, and inside is the nucleus, and that has all the genetic information and DNA, and that makes the neuron strong and healthy. So next are these branches of the cell body, and those are called dendrites. So they collect information, they suck it up, and they send it down the axon, which is this tube, to the next neuron. So let's pretend to give it some information. We'll give it right there on the dendrites. The next thing that we see is that around the axon is the myelin sheath, and that's a protective layer for the nerve fibers, and it also speeds up the signal transmission. It's like hitting a boost pad in Mario Kart. And these gaps in between are called the nodes of Ranvier, which we'll talk about. So now that information has traveled all the way down to the terminal boutons, which have synaptic vesicles, which contain neurotransmitters in the chemical form. But nerve cells aren't just chemical, they also have an electric current. So how does that work? Through the axon, there are chemicals, potassium and sodium. Typically, sodium is on the outside, potassium is on the inside. And with this, at rest, when there's no signal going through the axon, typically it's negative 70 millivolts, and it's ready and waiting for a signal. The neuron that came before this is going to release a neurotransmitter in the chemical form, and we're going to use serotonin, a mood regulator. When the dendrites accept the serotonin or the neurotransmitter, it kind of shakes up what's going on in there. And so the voltage changes, it spikes, and that's called depolarization. The sodium and potassium are moving around, and this happens in the nodes of Ranvier. Another step is repolarization, which is when the sodium moves in and the potassium moves out through voltage-gated channels. And with the potassium moving out, the voltage balances back out to negative 70 millivolts, and it goes back into a resting potential again. So our serotonin, our neurotransmitter, has made it all the way down to the terminal bouton. And here, a calcium channel opens up and it binds to the synaptic vesicles, and it causes a chemical change. So it's gone chemical, electric, back to chemical, and then the neurotransmitters are released to the next neuron.